Hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. Welcome to Connections Over Coffee. Whether you're here with us live on Zoom, joining us on Facebook, or watching later on YouTube, I'm really glad you're here. This is your time to slow down, fill up, and connect with other heart-centered women who are making a difference in the world. One of those women is with us today, Karen Tasto, and Karen will be talking about opening to sisterhood, healing what separates us. And she will share how we might heal the spaces between us as women and remember what true sisterhood feels like. Karen, welcome. We're so excited to hear you. And
Thank
I'm
you. Thank
going to
you,
tell
Jen.
everybody, yeah, I'll tell everybody a little bit about you first, though, because Karen is a
Okay.
transformational coach, circle facilitator, and mentor who helps women slow down and reconnect with themselves, creating space to listen to their hearts, honor their truth, and live with deeper alignment. She also mentors soulful leaders called to create their own women's circles through her circle weaving program and other offerings. And you can find out more at karentasto.com or email her Karen@karentasto.com. And that information will be in the text for this video. So Karen, welcome. You are on.
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. And thank you, all of you, for being here, whether live or watching the recording. So I invite us to begin to just take a small moment to anchor into our bodies before we move forward. So I invite you to maybe place one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly, or both hands on the heart, whatever feels right. Maybe close your eyes or just take a soft gaze and take some deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, long and slow as comfortable. Feeling that all the way down through the soles of your feet, landing here in your body. And another deep breath, letting out maybe with a sigh. Just feeling the weight of your hands and letting your hands and your breath tell you that you are here and you can open your eyes. So, before we began, you had a chance to share in small groups about times when being with other women felt supportive and times when it felt more vulnerable, challenging, distant. And I was really touched to hear some of what was shared. It took such courage and vulnerability, the honesty, the tenderness. And also, I was hearing just the longing, not just the deep longing that lives in so many of our hearts. It reminds me that this conversation about sisterhood and the ways we've been hurt or supported by it lives in all of us. We've all known moments of belonging and moments of separation, that ache, that desire to belong, to feel safe, to be seen and heard, supported, is really at the heart of what I call the sister wound. It's also what makes sisterhood so deeply healing. So just take a moment and let that sink in, what I said, these words. Many of us carry invisible scars from experiences with other women, moments perhaps of judgment, of competition, of betrayal, of being left out, exclusion. Some examples were shared in our breakouts and in the group. And it might also be like a friend who suddenly excluded us, a coworker who undercut us, undermined us, a mother who compared us. And there might be some larger than moments we all experience, woven through generations of women, taught through media, culture, conditioning, that taught us to compete for limited attention, approval, resources, love. These experiences shape how we show up today, whether in friendships, in our groups, in collaborations, even in our businesses. So sometimes, even with women we admire, we find ourselves pulling back, keeping our hearts guarded, staying quiet when we long to be seen, or dimming our lights to keep the peace. How many of you can relate to this? Just raise your hand, or I would love to see, or pop a little yes in the chat. Yeah, if that feels true for you. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I see you. It's so powerful to see that we're not alone in this. I know it helps me. Almost every woman has felt it at some point. So you're not alone. And just naming it begins to loosen its hold, because the sister wound isn't just personal, it's deep, it's cultural. For centuries, the feminine has been undervalued. You know this. Women were taught to mistrust or compare rather than collaborate and celebrate. And yet, here we are, reclaiming connection, truth, and belonging. There's a quote that you probably have heard: a rising tide lifts all boats. Imagine what would happen if we truly believe that about women, that we don't have to compete, that there is enough to go around. And in fact, through collaboration and celebration, we all rise. I know you know this here. But take a moment. I invite you to take this in, these words, at a deep cellular level. Maybe take a deep breath. We can know it and hear it, but can we really take it in into our bodies and our hearts? So personally, for me, this wound showed up in subtle ways over time, in various ways, and I could go on and on about all the ways. I've been writing about some of them in my newsletters. I can think back to times even when I first joined a women's group or a club or a circle, over the years, different things, and felt like I was somehow on the outside. No matter, even when everyone was perfectly friendly and kind, I noticed who seemed more confident, more spiritual, who had it all together, who was more at ease. And I'd quietly compare myself. I'd hold back my truth, second guess my insights, stay in my head instead of my heart, where the deep connection lies. Over time, I realized, it took me some time, I wasn't being excluded. I was actually protecting an old memory, an old story from childhood, of being excluded, of feeling on the outside, not fitting in, that it wasn't entirely safe to be all of me with other women. Does any of this sound familiar? Raise your hand or a yes in the chat if you can relate. Yeah. So breathe. Check in with your bodies. How's your body feeling as you're listening? When I began to name this wound, this hurt, and gently open, especially with women, something shifted. The connections deepened. This took time. They became real, imperfect, yes, but alive. I began to experience what true sisterhood could feel like, which showing up authentically, not to perform, but to connect. So I invite you to reflect. Can you think of a time when that's been true for you, too? When you allowed yourself to open just a little more and something maybe beautiful happened. Again, drop a yes in the chat if that resonates. A time when you felt something open in the midst of women. Yes, yes, beautiful. Let's just take a breath together. This is such a reminder that when one of us softens, it gives others permission to do the same. And I hope you're feeling that perhaps right here in these few minutes. That's what healing the sister wound begins to open in us. It's a softer heart, a stronger spine, a capacity to stand together rather than apart. When we do this healing work, we're not just tending our relationships with other women, we're healing our relationship with the feminine itself, the feminine in all of us. It's intuitive, cyclical, receptive, creative, deeply relational. But in a world that values productivity and control, we know this, these qualities have often been dismissed or forgotten. We all need reminders. I like to imagine the feminine as an underground root system. I love trees. I'm a big tree hugger. It's not always visible above ground, this root system, but it's what connects the trees and keeps the forest thriving. When the root system is healthy, each tree gets the resources it needs. But when it's damaged, trees have to compete for what little remains. So our work in sisterhood is tending those roots. So when we gather in circle, we're tending the roots. We're remembering something deep and sacred. I know whenever I would, in the beginnings, walk into a circle, and I have women who come to my circles for the first time, and the tears, and they wonder, why am I crying? What is this about? Or that even I never cry in groups. What I say to them, what I have said to myself, or what my mentor would say, is it's reunion grief. It's a remembering of what was lost. And now some part of you, deep heart, remembers, maybe an ancient part. And what we're saying in tending to these roots in sisterhood is that connection matters, presence matters, listening and feeling matter. And yes, So, sisterhood isn't about everyone getting along or being the same. It's about showing up honestly, being willing to stay connected, even when it's uncomfortable. I invite you to notice just what's happening inside your body as I say. It's about choosing compassion and curiosity over judgment or comparison. That is feminine leadership. That is how we shift the collective story. One circle, one conversation, one healed heart at a time. Breathe. Let's take a few moments to connect more deeply within yourselves, ourselves. If you're comfortable, close your eyes, or if not, just a soft gaze. And take another slow, deep breath in and a long exhale out. Again, this is optional. But bring to mind one woman, past or present, with whom you felt a true sense of sisterhood. Someone who reflected your beauty and truth back to you. And just notice what that feels like in your body. That first woman who comes to you in mind, to your mind, in your heart. Does your breath deepen? Does your chest feel more open? Or your facial muscles relax? Just notice. And it's okay if you don't feel anything. If that memory brings a smile or a sense of warmth, you can drop a yes in the chat. Let's feel that energy together. Mm. And continue to sit in that, bathing in that warmth. Yes, yes, a smile. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, lots of yeses. So feel that energy of everyone in your yeses. So take a breath if you want. And now bring to mind another woman, someone with whom you felt tension, distance, or misunderstanding, someone for whom you felt challenge. And can you hold both her and yourself in compassion, or if that's too difficult, some friendly kindness? I know it can be hard. You don't need to fix anything here. Just soften your breath and let love or kindness or warmth enter that space between you and that woman in your mind. So, what might become possible if you more of your relationships with women carried this sense of openness, of trust and ease, even the ones who have been difficult, challenging? And now, holding your eyes closed, just imagine for a moment yourself standing in a circle of women, maybe known or unknown. You don't need to necessarily see their faces, but you feel a sense of safety, of trust, of warmth, perhaps acceptance. Each woman seeing and honoring you, where you know in your bones these women will hold you in all of life's up and downs. The warmth of belonging, the deep remembering that you're not alone. Just breathe and take that in more deeply if you're willing. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. If you want to jot down anything or put in the chat. This feeling of openness, of connection and remembrance is what we'll explore more deeply in our opening to Sisterhood circle that's happening this Wednesday evening on Zoom. It's a sacred space to look at these wounds and longings. Today was just a taste to heal through reflection, somatic practice, and shared truth telling at your comfort level. And when we gather this way, we remember, as I have said here, we don't have to do life alone. We don't have to harden ourselves to belong. We can open again. Breathe. If you felt something stirring this morning, a spark, a yes, a curiosity, I'd love for you to join me there. I'll put the link in the chat. It's free. And together we'll continue this journey of healing what separates us and remembering the beauty of sisterhood. So thank you for being here, for listening, for bringing your presence. Thank you.
Wow. Let's take a minute and show Karen some love. So unmute yourselves, please. And it almost feels, I don't want to be too raucous here, right? Let's just do
Yeah.
bravo, soft claps.
Thank you.
Um, Karen, so you can see everybody, move your thing over so you can see what everybody's doing with you. There comes Charlene up. I love that clapping thing. That was so good, Karen. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
yeah, really. To all of you who joined us live or catching the replay, thank you for being part of the On Purpose Woman Global community. We're so glad you're here showing up for yourself and for one another. If you'd like to get more involved, join us for future connections over coffee gatherings on Zoom or in person, or explore the On Purpose Woman magazine. Just visit opwgc.com and you'll find inspiration, connection, and opportunities to grow both personally and professionally. That link is in the text of this video, and a reminder that the link to Karen's website and everything is in the in the text of this video as well. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again.